WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today, this is the second bottle for me from the Viking Series from Kirsch Import here in Germany in cooperation with Signatory Vintage 2013, the youngest of the bottles, and it's a Whitlaw. It's a Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Whitlaw is the secret code for Highland Park, by the way. And we have a bottle which is 59.6%, Whiskybase number 183776. It was distilled on the 19th of June 2013, and it was bottled on the 18th of December 2020, which makes it 7 years old. Now, it has a sherry butt finish. Now, first of all, I must admit, I read that it was like 7 years old and a sherry butt finish. Come on, guys, you can do better than that. 689 bottles. If you want to look at the color, it's dark like Coca-Cola. I originally purchased it for 119 euros. At the moment, it's between 140 and 200 euros online. So let's say 140 to 150. I'm going to compare it to a different Highland Park. The famous little sack here. And this is a German exclusive, bottled exclusively for Kirsch Import. This is 66.5%. This is cask number 3944. It's 10 years old. And there was a total of, it was a refill, but a total of 577 bottles. So 95 euros, 120 to 150, depends on where you are and when you bought it. Now 66.5% is fairly high proof. So just a tiny little bit with a little bit of water to compare. I like to have the Highland Park bottles as they are with the Highland Park little slogan on it. But if you look here, I kind of have the feeling that her nice little battle axe is a little bit like a Highland Park. And if you look even closer, which is a little bit difficult here, it's going to focus, even her armband or her arm protection looks a little bit Highland Park. So there's actually some nice little, come on, focus. Here we go, good. There's actually tiny little Easter eggs in each of these pictures, which I'm trying to identify slowly but surely. So the author of all these is actually, his name is, one second, going back here to, it's Tom Thiel. He is in Erftstadt in Germany. That was one of the areas that was hidden in Rhineland, Palestina, Rhineland-Pfalz. That was hit by the massive floods. So there were a couple houses that were actually flooded away, torn away by the torrential rainfall we had in the beginning of July, the middle of July. And I think people actually died in his city village there, unfortunately. So if you can donate some money to some of these organizations that are doing something. I've done, or I'm going to do, actually a charity, a tasting. I've actually collected the money. The charity is going to happen of the tasting later on this month in August. And so about 500, 600 euros we've actually collected so far. We're going to donate here to a local helping organization. So, color. Look at that dark chocolatey sherry monster, and look at this normal sherry refill. Now, this is a finish. This was not an entire 7 years. So whatever they did, they took a sherry butt, they put some stuff in it. I'm not even going to call it sherry. It's probably going to be Pedro Jimenez with a mixture of Oloroso, maybe even a little bit of sherry syrup. And one of my fans actually said maybe they actually torched it a little bit. Maybe they charred the sherry a little bit to give it even more of a dark color. And then you put the whiskey into the cask and you let it be finished for maybe 3 months, 6 weeks, or whatever to get the darkness from that. And maybe you left a little bit in the cask as well. Who knows? 20 liters, maybe 5 liters, maybe only 10. Who knows? With a 600-liter sherry butt here, maybe you can do that. And that's the way you get this dark color. All right. So one of them or all of those different recommendations I just read, or I just talked about. This is absolutely, unbelievably, unfortunately good. I would love to hate this whiskey, but actually it's exactly my sweet spot here. I get a nice leather chocolatey type of dark cherry with a little bit of dried, a little bit of prunes, a little bit of dried, a little bit of raisins, dried grapes, raisins, dried plums, prunes. This is good. Vanilla, very light oak, no, absolutely no bitterness, and even the alcohol, even though it's only 7 years, is so well integrated. Well done. Wow. Now, to be very, very honest, this is the type of whiskey I like to hate. It's like, oh no, it's all they're doing, all the things you shouldn't do, and yet the end result is, at this moment, at least on my nose, yummy. So let's go for the taste. It is 59.6%, so I'm going to need a little bit of water in a second, but here, cheers. Mm-hmm. So I get a Kentucky hug, maybe a Highland Park hug here. It burns its path of just tiny little bit the whole time. But then this viscosity, almost a syrup-like moment comes through with wonderful dark cherry, raisins, vanilla, and a little bit of light leather in there. That is actually very good. Ah, I would love to hate this, but it's so good. So adding a little bit of water, taking it down from its 59.6% down to about 52%. Over here, my 66.5%. Now, this is the color whiskey could and should be in real life, all right? So this is more of a, I'm going to use the word mutation. That's actually a good word. This is mutated. This is not something that should happen. This is like when Homer Simpson dumped all his stuff into the sea, you had the fish with the 5 eyes. This is a mutation. This is not a standard product that you can normally get without doing something tricky to make that. Mm-hmm. In comparison, this is, oh, actually I get here a little bit more of the Highland Park heather peated moment. In the first moment, I didn't get much peat, but there is peat in here. That popped up on me. I wasn't expecting that. There's a nice caramel and there's a nice red berry moment in here. It's not overpowering. This overpowers everything. You could put any type of whiskey in here with this type of finish and it'll probably taste the same with little nuances to the left or the right if it's peated or not. All right, so I've given this some time to mix with the water. I hate it when they make something I like and I shouldn't. I don't want to like it. The heather peat is well integrated. It's there, but it's not overpowering. The berries and the leather and the vanilla and the wood, almost expertly created this whiskey. It's good. It's almost worth 119 euros. Why do I say that? I don't have the Highland Park. Here's the 12, but the Highland Park 18 over here in Europe with 43% goes for 120 euros. So if I can get a Highland Park 7 with this type of power and perfection and taste experience, I'd almost be willing to pay for that. So I'm going to ignore the 7-year-old age statement for a moment. I'm going to go from the price, 120 euros. I'm going to go for the taste, and I'm actually going to say this is a C minus C whiskey. I really like it. C plus plus, B minus minus. I actually have to give it a B minus to be honest. Forget the C. It's a B minus whiskey. Yummy, yummy, yummy for my tummy. Well done, well done, well done. Look for Whitlaw if you ever find one. I typed it into Whiskybase and I received the following hits. The Ultimate used the Whitlaw at least 3 different times. The Single Cask used it once. The Boutique Whiskey Club used it once as well for a 15-year-old. So, Signatory Vintage Unchilled Collection, very cloudy, which is just coming out actually in 2021, used it. MOM, who's MOM again? Masters of Malt used it actually for Forgotten Gems, also 2021. So, but there was only 11 bottles. Who knows? And Unchilled Filtered last year, also we had a Whitlaw from 2014. So Whitlaw is one of those secret codes. Warthead is Glenfiddich, usually teaspooned. And so you have to know Orkney is always Highland Park as well. So yeah, let's take a look and see what we find in the future. Question of the day: what is your favorite cask strength Highland Park that you can recommend? It doesn't matter if it's $200 or less. Anything above $200, just forget. But what would be your favorite Highland Park cask strength whiskey? At the moment, I must admit this really goes down very, very pleasantly and leaves a beautiful, beautiful aftertaste. There's no off notes, no bitterness, nothing. This mutation of a whiskey is unfortunately right up my alley. So, and the last question might be, what other mutated whiskeys can you also name or recommend? Thank you very much for watching. WhiskyJason here. Like, subscribe, tell others, and maybe even share this video and show people around the world what whiskeys you can't get. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, WhiskyJason.